you might be wondering which network is best, 3 or EE. In this video, we've compared 3 and EE in a number of key areas, including their 5G speeds, network coverage, customer service, roaming policies, and value for money. Before we get started, if you're looking for a new pay monthly phone plan, you can use our comparison site, greensmartphones.com, to find the best deals on 3 and EE. Simply navigate to a phone you want to buy, and click the network boxes on the left to just display results from these two mobile networks. Let's begin. When it comes to 5G performance, 3 performs slightly better than EE. 3 has faster average download speeds across their 5G network, although the two networks cover about the same number of addresses. However, in terms of 4G performance, EE has slightly better coverage, and they tend to offer slightly faster download speeds. If you live in a major city and care about getting faster 5G, 3 is probably the better choice. But if you live in a smaller town or village, and mostly care about getting good 4G signal, EE might be the better option. It's generally a good idea to use the 3 and EE network coverage maps to ensure you'll get good signal at home, at work, and at anywhere else you frequently travel to. On greensmartphones.com, simply click more details under a given phone's deal card, and then click through to the network coverage map and put in your postcode. Then, look for good indoor and outdoor 4G and 5G signal at your address before committing to a given network. It can be quite hard to judge how good a given mobile network's customer service will be before you join them. Just because your neighbour hasn't had any issues with EE, for example, doesn't mean that your experience will be the same. Fortunately, each year Ofcom performs extensive surveys of customers of each major British mobile network and reports on their findings. According to Ofcom research, EE customer service takes 145 seconds on average to answer the phone when you call them, while 3 takes just 16 seconds. EE received 5 complaints per 100,000 subscribers, compared to 14 complaints per 100,000 3 customers. 92% of EE customers are satisfied with the service overall, compared to just 86% of 3 customers. Overall, while 3 is quick to answer the phone, EE tends to offer better overall customer service. They receive fewer complaints, and their customers are more satisfied overall with the service they're receiving. Therefore, EE might be a better choice if you really value having a mobile network that will resolve connection issues and fix billing problems quickly. Let's start by saying 3's roaming policies are not very good. They might possibly be the worst of any of the major 4 British mobile networks. You have to pay £2 per day to roam in Europe, and even then, you can only use up to 12 gigabytes of your monthly data usage limit. And beyond Europe, you have to buy a data passport for £5 per day, which only works in 22 countries, and still has a 12 gigabyte usage limit. On the other hand, with EE, their roaming plans have a much higher 50 gigabyte monthly usage limit. And while 3 also has a £2 daily roaming charge, they also give you the option of paying £10 per month instead. And if you have an EE plan with a smart benefit, you might be able to allocate this towards roaming and avoid paying these charges. Having a smart benefit or buying a roaming add-on will also give you inclusive roaming in 5 countries outside of Europe. Beyond these destinations, EE has a £6.85 daily roaming charge, which gives you 150 megabytes of data. In summary, EE is a better choice when it comes to roaming in most cases. However, we think that O2 is a better roaming choice than either of these networks because they don't charge for EU roaming, unlike 3 and EE. Three's big advantage over EE is their value for money. When you compare SIM plans with a similar data allowance and contract length, 3's prices are nearly always cheaper. Also, EE has speed caps on many of their SIM plans. With 3, their deals come 5G enabled by default, with no extra charge. The one benefit EE has is they normally include more bonuses, such as the smart benefits we mentioned earlier, or free access to Netflix. However, even accounting for these add-ons, we think that 3 is much better value for money in most cases. In saying this, if you're after a particular mobile phone, it's always worth comparing prices on both networks to see which offers the best deals at any given moment. To do this, you can use greensmartphones.com. After you navigate to a phone, simply use the network filters on the left to narrow down the deals displayed to just those from 3 or EE. There are a lot of advantages EE has over 3 when you compare the two mobile networks. They have better 4G speeds and coverage, and better roaming policies. Plus, EE has better customer satisfaction and receives fewer customer complaints. However, 3 has better 5G performance and tends to offer better value for money. The main thing it boils down to is 4G and 5G coverage in our book, because this is most of what you're paying for. Good download speeds and coverage. If 5G is important to you, then 3 is the better choice. But if you don't have good 5G where you live, and want to ensure you get good 4G signal, then EE is the better option. Remember, if you're in the market for a new phone, you can use greensmartphones.com to easily find the lowest prices on 3 and EE smartphone deals. You can filter by network, data allowance, 5G speeds, and much more using the sidebar, or with the filters drop down on mobile. And if you have any questions about choosing between 3 and EE, leave a comment below and we'll get back to you as soon as we can.